I'm Jody Collada with Wellspring Solutions. Thanks so much for joining us. We are here at the Center for Holistic Healing in High Point. We are partnering with them and specifically with certified yoga teacher Ericka Thomas to bring you yoga demonstration classes as part of our Thrive initiative. We hope you enjoy this time for refreshment, to relax, and to really just devote some time to your self-care. If you would like more opportunities to thrive, please check us out on our website.
Welcome back, everyone, to our Thrive Yoga series. My name is Ericka, and today I'm going to show you a very simple yoga series that you can do right from the comfort of your own chair. So go ahead and take a seat, and we'll get started. When we get ready to do our chair practice, we first want to make sure that our chair itself is very stable. We don't want to use a chair that's on rollers, and we want to make sure that we use our prop in a way, any of our props in a way that helps our body to surrender into the pose, to relax into our alignment. So I've placed my chair today on a yoga mat so it doesn't slide out from under me. You may or may not need to do that with yours. And I have today an extra mat rolled up and a blanket on the chair. So when you sit in your chair, we're going to be forward on the seat, so you're not relaxed and lounging back on the back. That's what our extra mat is for in place of a bolster. It just gives a little bit of support through the lower back to help us sit up nice and tall. I like the extra blanket on this particular chair because it lifts my hips just enough so that my knees are at 90 degrees when I'm seated. So when you sit in your chair, if you feel like your knees are higher than your hips, then you may want to have a little extra boost with a blanket folded up underneath the hips like we would if we were seated on the floor. And then the same thing with the feet. So if when you sit in your chair, your hips are higher than your knees, we may want to raise the floor a little bit if we can't lower the seat of our chair. And we can do that simply by taking a blanket and folding it and placing it underneath the feet, or perhaps using our homemade blocks with a stack of books or another folded mat to raise the feet a little bit. So a couple of tips there before you get started for your own comfort. Once you're comfortable in your chair, we want to sit nice and tall and find your sit bones pressed into the seat. Allow yourself to reach up through the crown of the head a little bit, as if someone is lifting you up and extending through the spine. And then let's roll the shoulders a couple of times, just getting in touch with those shoulders a little bit. And then relax those shoulders down away from the ears, relaxing the arms either along the side of the body or perhaps just resting them on our lap. So we're going to soften our gaze as we begin our practice, looking down towards the floor, or if you're comfortable, closing your eyes and turning our attention in on the breath. Inhaling and exhaling through the nose. And just notice how you're breathing in this moment. Letting go of any judgment here. Feel the breath as it comes in and out of the body. You might choose to place a hand on your stomach, or maybe one on the side of your rib cage, to feel how that breath moves in and out. There's no need to change anything about your breath right here, just observe. And then begin to notice how long it takes to exhale. Perhaps counting the length of your exhale. And then slowing our inhale to match that exhale a little bit at a time. Allow yourself just to flow with the breath. Feel the shoulders relax. Invite some softness into the neck, into the jaw, into the face. Allowing your breath to pace your movement today. Let's draw our hands to heart center. Gently pressing the palms together. Feeling that dynamic balance between the left and right side of the body. Feeling, breathing, listening to the body today as we let go of judgment, competition, expectation, and allowing ourselves to simply be present in the moment. As we connect with our breath, let's send those hands forward from the heart. Inhaling as we open the arms out to the side, lifting the gaze slightly. Exhaling, rounding forward. Spreading the shoulder blades open. Inhaling, let's open those arms up and out. Exhale, rounding forward. One more breath like this, inhaling and exhaling. On our next inhale, sweeping those arms out to the side as we reach up towards the ceiling. Exhaling, let's take the left hand down and the right arm overhead. Inhale, both arms coming up through center. Exhaling, right hand comes down, left arm reaches over. Inhaling, taking those arms up. We'll do one more to each side, one more side bend. Exhaling as we take that left hand down. Inhaling, arms up. Last time to the right. Inhaling, reaching up and overhead. This time as we exhale, gently turn the body to the left. Inhaling, both arms coming up through center. Exhaling, both arms turning to the right. Inhaling, reaching up. Exhaling to the left. Inhaling, taking those arms up and overhead. Last time to the right. Inhaling, bringing those arms up and overhead. Exhaling, let's take those hands to the knees. And hinging forward slightly. So we're just going to reach forward with the heart. Inhaling as we take the gaze up. And as we look up, think about dropping the shoulders away from the ears. Exhaling, let's round over through the upper back, letting the chin drop into the chest. Inhaling, lifting the gaze, arching through the back, a little seated cat-cow here. Exhaling as we round over. Feeling the space open between the vertebrae. Inhaling as we lift and open the heart. Exhaling, rounding over last time. Inhaling as we return neutral. And let's take a nice deep breath together. Inhaling, taking those arms overhead. Exhaling, hands coming to heart center here. Inhaling, reaching up. Finding some freedom of movement through the shoulders. Exhaling, hands to heart center. One more breath here. Inhaling, reaching up. And then as we exhale, let's turn to our right. So we're just going to step the right foot out, coming to the front of our chair and drop that left knee down. Now you can keep that left knee straight down to the floor, or we can reach that leg back a little bit farther. So whichever's most comfortable for you. And then we have the option to hold on to the back of our chair, or we can take both arms and reach them up and overhead into our beautiful, strong warrior one. Finding our best pose today. So the arms are reaching up here, and we have so many options in our Warrior One. We can keep our arms reaching high as we drop the shoulders away from the ears. We might choose to draw those arms down and back into cactus arms, or sometimes we call this goalpost arms, building strength through the upper back. Today, we might choose to rest hands at heart center instead, to rest through the neck and the shoulders, or we can connect through the breath for a flow. So those arms would reach up on our inhale. Exhaling, we would draw the elbows down the body. Inhaling as we come up. Exhaling, drawing down. Inhaling as we reach. Exhaling, connecting with that breath. Listening to the body today. On our next exhale, we will gently open into Warrior Two. So with the legs as they are, turning the shoulders towards the front of your chair. Now, we might want to drop that back heel towards the mat, towards the floor, but we can adjust that back leg to bring some comfort in for that back foot. But our arms are going to reach forward and back. At the same time, we have this lovely little string that pulls straight up through the crown of the head in our Warrior Two. And then from here, let's just roll the shoulders a little bit, dropping them away from the ears. Find some softness, invite some softness into the neck. If that means rolling the head, let's allow that. Warrior Two reaches forward through the front hand, back through the back hand, but we have options here as well. So we might choose to keep our Warrior Two arms, or we might choose today to rest hands at heart center, or we could choose to stretch through that upper back. We'd sweep our back hand, our left hand, underneath the right arm to bind either an eagle, placing the palms together, or taking our hands to our shoulders, lifting the elbows to open that upper mid-back, giving ourselves a much needed hug here, and then returning to our breath. Whatever our choice is, it's always the right choice, and we can always make a new choice whenever we need to. Returning to our breath. On our next exhale, let's release those arms back out through Warrior Two. Inhaling as we bring hands to heart center, and then we'll return center on our chair by first bringing that back foot in, and then the feet together as we return to the center of our chair, finding our sit bones centered into the seat. And we're going to set our feet just a little bit wider than our chair here. Hands on those knees, lifting nice and tall through the crown of the head, and then gently dropping one shoulder down across through center. Inhaling as we come back up. Exhaling as we turn to the other side. Inhaling through center and exhaling in that rotation. Finding that beautiful stretch sensation through the spine and up and down the side body here. Inhaling and exhaling. Let's do one more to each side if we can. And then when you're ready, inhaling back through center, hands coming back to heart center. We'll bring our feet in here too. And then move to the other side. So let's take a nice breath here before we make that transition. Inhaling as we come up, exhaling, hands coming to heart center. One more time, inhaling, reaching up and overhead, and then exhaling, hands coming to heart center as we step the left foot out and turn the body towards the left side. So again, our back knee can stay straight down from that back hip and toes curled under, or we can reach back a little bit farther, whatever feels fine for you on that back foot. So finding our warrior one through the lower body, and then we have the option to reach both arms up and overhead, or we can keep that back hand, our left hand, on the back of our chair for balance. Sometimes that feels really good in a supportive way, so we can expand that breath. Shoulders are relaxed down away from the ears here in our warrior one, and we have all the same options on this side that we had on the last side. So arms could stay reaching high, or we could take goalpost arms here. We might choose to rest hands at heart center, giving yourself the freedom here to make a different choice on this side than we did on the first side. It's okay to do something different. We're honoring where we are in our body in this moment. So we might choose to hold this softness with hands at heart center and our resting hands, or we could flow. So we inhale, reaching up, exhale, and draw the elbows down the back of the body. Inhale as we reach up, exhale and draw down. Inhaling up, exhaling, drawing down. Staying present here, noticing what you notice in the shoulders, through our neck. Maybe taking our awareness down to the feet, to the hips, letting that breath flow into those areas and bring softness and calm. On our next exhale, gently opening into warrior two, turning the shoulders to the front of the chair. And again, we can take a moment to change our back foot, finding the support we need in the chair, letting the shoulders drop away from the ears here as we reach up through the crown of the head, and then returning to our breath, again giving ourselves the option to reach out into the future with the front hand, into the past with the back hand, staying strong in the present with the breath, or perhaps resting hands at heart center. Or we have the option on this side to move into our eagle arm bind by sweeping our back hand, the right hand, underneath the left, bringing our palms together, or letting those hands gently rest on the shoulders as we lift the elbows, softening our gaze or closing our eyes as we bring our awareness to the breath, expanding through the upper back, sinking into the support of that chair, into the support of our foundation. Staying with the breath. On our next exhale, tucking the chin slightly as we release that bind out through warrior two. Inhaling as we bring those hands back to heart center and drawing the back foot in here, bringing our feet together and then returning to the center of our chair. Let's take some breaths here, inhaling as we reach those arms up and overhead. exhaling, hands to heart center. We'll do one more and then move into a beautiful forward fold here. Inhaling as we take our hands up. Exhaling, the hands come out to the side, our arms come out to the side. We're going to hinge forward with the option to hinge forward or hands to the thighs and help ourselves relax into a seated forward fold. Those hands can stay on the thighs, or we can relax those arms, the shoulders, the head and neck down. And then we'll send our breath into the back of the body. Resting on the thighs. On our next inhale, walking those hands up the legs. We're going to extend the spine first. So lifting the gaze, shoulders drop. And then we'll use those hands to support us as we come back up to a seated posture. Let's complete our practice with a little bit of attention and awareness on the neck muscles. So we're going to sit very tall here on our chair, making sure that we have some support. So if you want to slide back and into that support at the back of your chair, that's a good option. And then we'll roll the shoulders a couple of times. Gently take your right hand on top of your head. And then we'll tilt the head to the right. So your right ear comes towards the right shoulder, lifting through the left side of the jaw. So think about that lift coming from the left side of the jaw, and the left arm coming out to the side, down at about a 45-degree angle. So we might start to feel a little bit of a stretch here, running from behind our left ear all the way down to our fingertips. We can hold just like this, or we can turn our left palm up towards the ceiling and then roll from our shoulder forward. We're not pulling on our head, we're supporting our head here in this head tilt. And then the shoulder will open as we take our palm up towards the ceiling. And then exhale as we roll forward, feeling that stretch extend from right behind our ear all the way down the neck through the shoulder to our fingertips. Let's do one more here. Inhaling as we come back and release those hands either to heart center or prepare to change sides. So we're going to come back to neutral first, reaching up through the crown of the head, and then we'll take our left hand to the top of our head and gently tilt our head towards the left. So it's not a big range of motion, just a gentle tilt. The hand on our head is there for support, lifting through the right side of the jaw, and then we take our right arm and extend out at about a 45-degree angle from the shoulder. We can pause here, just feel what you feel in the body, knowing that you can shift and change at any time. And then when you're ready, we take that right palm up towards the ceiling. Exhale and roll forward through the shoulder. Inhale as we open the shoulder, palm turns up. Exhale, rolling forward, extending through the fingertips. Let's do one more. Rolling forward. And releasing back through center, taking your time. Relaxing those hands on the lap, and then we can just roll through the neck a little bit here, nice and slow. Your range of motion. Enjoying this time to be present in your body. With all the kindness and support that you deserve. When you're ready, coming back to neutral, we can bring our hands back to heart center, sharing 3 more breaths together, 1 for the mind, 1 for the body, and 1 for the spirit. And as always, may the light in me honor the light in you. Namaste. Thank you so much for joining me in our chair yoga, and I will see you next time. No. Thank you so much for joining me today in this Thrive Yoga video, and I will see you next time.
Thank you so much again for joining us today. I hope you enjoyed these yoga exercises and that you devoted some time to your self-care. This class is part of a series, so please check back on our website for more opportunities for yoga and to thrive. Thanks so much again for joining us, and thank you to the Center for Holistic Healing.